Hi there, it's Blair here at Time Trades. Thanks for joining me today. In this week's video, I've got lots to cover. I'm going to start with a review of a trade I did using information from Time Trades in FCEL or FCEL. And then I want to talk about the changes that have been made to the TradingView Export. We're also going to cover some new features that we added, and then close with a review of how to use GAN waves. So lots to cover this week. Starting with FCEL. So this is a great case study about how to use the models tab here on Time Trades. And I tweeted this one out. It was back August 4th, so a little over a week ago. So I was using the models tab to look for opportunities, and often I'll do this when I'm looking for symbols and stocks that have some activity coming in the near future. So the way you do this is you go to Time Trades and you use the models tab here. And what I did back on August 4th, I think, was I clicked on the activity rating TD 1 to 5. And what this does is this sorts all of the models by the amount of activity that's in the next 1 to 5 trading days. So you can sort the activity or the forecast activity by groups of 5 trading days. This is trading day 6 through 10, trading day 11 through 15, 16 through 20. By default, it's just sorted by symbol name. But when you want to take advantage of the forecast information that's generated by Time Trades and look and find which of the 200 odd symbols have the most forecast activity, you want to use this. You want to sort by whatever your time horizon is. In my case, it was 1 to 5 trading days. Okay, so if you're looking for a longer term trade, maybe you want to look for something that's going to have some activity, 16 to 20 days out. Okay, so that's what I did, and you're seeing the list as it exists today on Sunday, August 15th. But back on August 4th, FCEL was on that list, and you can see here from my tweet that FCEL was there. It had a 10 activity rating. So I took a look at the chart at the time, and the chart in Time Trades kind of looked like this. And this is one of the types of Time Trade setups that I really like, because there's a probability of a 5-day % increase combined with a pivot high. So what we're seeing here is a forecast that says it's likely the stock's going to go up into a pivot high on August 9th. So if we go back and take a look at what actually happened in TradingView, you can see that when the tweet went out on August 4th, I entered a position. It went against me briefly, but then surged up into a pivot high on August 10th. I exited on August 9th with a nice profit, and then and then the pivot high took hold, and it reversed from that 9th and 10th time frame and fell back down to where price was. So I mean, this was really kind of like a perfect example of Time Trades, and they're not always this perfect, but in this case, the forecast worked out, and it worked in my favor. So I wanted to share that with the group just as an example of what I look for and how I use these features of Time Trades to help find profitable trades. In this case, it worked out really well for me. So don't forget about the models tab, make use of it, and also make use of these activity ratings, because they can help you find opportunities. In this case, it was in a forgotten once trendy stock, FCEL, and it turned into a nice little trade. Okay, so that's the models tab. The other thing I did this week is made some improvements to how the TradingView exports work. Okay, so let's go and take a look at Bitcoin, and we'll use this as our example for TradingView exports. So if we go over here to the right-hand side, we click on the TradingView Export, you may notice this screen looks a little bit better, more attractive, easier to read, easier to find the TradingView exports. Now there's two types of TradingView exports, okay? The first one is where the script is custom for the symbol, and that's the Lunar Transit script. The second script, the only example of this, or the second type of TradingView export, is a static script where it's the same for all symbols, and this is GAN waves. So if I click on GAN waves here, it'll take me directly to that tab in TradingView, and then you can work with that because it's the exact same script for all symbols, okay? But the change that I made this week was to the Lunar Transit script, and this one is custom and it's generated within time trades. So you need to click generate the script, and that creates the script, and it copies it over to the clipboard, and then you can navigate over to TradingView. And this script is only for use with Bitcoin. It's custom to Bitcoin. It makes use of the machine learning information that's generated every night. And then you can create a new script, and I'll go through the process here on this bottom pane in TradingView. If you haven't used this before, you can click on more here, actually. No, that's not it. What I want to do is create a brand new Pine script, and I'm having a little mental block here on where that is. Here we go, open. You go to open, okay, and you want to create a new blank indicator, okay? And then you can select all, and then paste in what was generated from time trades, okay? So this is the script that was generated from time trades. It's only for use with Bitcoin. We can then save that, and we're gonna overwrite the old one that was there, okay? So BTC USD Lunar Trading Aspects already exists. Yes, I wanna replace it. And now we've added this script into TradingView, and now we can add this specs, save, yes. Okay, there we go. And now we can add this to the chart. All right, so I'm going to click add to chart, and TradingView is going to grind on that for a bit. We can see the little spinny thing, and then we see the vertical lines appear. Okay, so what's happening here? What we're seeing are the various lunar aspects. So this is when the moon is orbiting the Earth once every 27.5 days. It creates aspects with different planets, and those aspects have different levels of importance in the machine learning model. So what we're doing is we're reflecting that level of importance that's detected by the machine learning model and displaying that on your TradingView chart. So we can see here on August 12th, moon trine 120, the north node, which is #1 in down days. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if we go to back to time trades here, we can go to influencers and we can just double check that. Okay, so we go to influencers and then lunar transits, and we were talking about moon trine 120, #1 in down days. So if we go down to the down days, okay, so this is the down days influencers. Also, these numbers are all the weights that are generated for these aspects in the machine learning model. Okay, and we find trine 120, and we find north node, and there it is, 0.28, and that is the highest number in this table. Okay, so #1 in down days means that that moon trine 120 has the highest weighting in the machine learning model when it comes to influence over down days. So now you can see that information directly integrated into your TradingView chart, and this can give you some good insights as to what you can expect will happen. Now, one of the things that I did this week is this is not a new feature. This has been there for a while. But what I did this week is I changed how these aspects are being generated. I used to generate, say, the top 10 aspects over down days, and then the top 10 influencers over up days, and then the top 10 influencers over pivot lows, and the top 10 influencers over pivot highs, and then smush all those together. And you would see those in TradingView. What the change that I made is I only wanted to see the most influential, the top 15 most influential aspects, regardless of what they influence. Okay, so you'll notice here that I've got like 4 lists, 4 collections of weights. So what I'm doing now is, and this is the change that I made, is I'm combining all 4 of these lists together, right? And then I'm taking the top 15 of those, and those top 15 are being displayed here for a given lunar transit cycle. Okay, so that starts with moon at 0 degrees Aries, and there should be 15 items here. So these are all the most influential across all 4 lists. So these are the most influential aspects across all 4 lists. And the result should be an increased correlation between these vertical lines and price behavior. So let's take this guy, for example. This is moon enters Cancer, #1 in pivot low. Now you may look at this and say, oh, well, geez, Blair, you know, that's not very good. That looks like a pivot high to me. And you'd be right. Okay, we're looking at a 1-hour chart. But remember that these the time trades model is based on daily data. Okay, so the correlation that we're looking for is a pivot low within the next 24 hours of this happening. All right, so within 24 hours of moon entering Cancer, what happens? Well, yeah, here we are, August 5th, 8 a.m., which is what is that? 14 hours after the moon enters Cancer. Sure enough, we get a pivot low. So when you're interpreting these, give them a little bit of buffer or leeway, because the machine learning model is trained based on daily data. And then when you start to look at intraday data in TradingView, it's very easy to sort of misinterpret these things. So just remember that the influencers are based on daily data. So give them a bit of time to work. If they don't work after 24 hours, then yeah, they're not going to work. And of course, these things are not going to work all the time. But that's not the point. The point is to try to give you a bit of an edge and put more of the probabilities on your side. Okay, so that's the change that we made in the TradingView export. The other little change that I made, and I'll share this on the chart here. So if we go to the chart, okay. Now you'll notice that there is a let's just get a little drawing tool here. Here's a drawing tool. You'll notice that there's something new here on the little informational line, and that's the percentage change over the prior day. Okay, so I've added that. That's an interesting little change. That was a user request, so thanks to the user that suggested that. And I'd love to hear your feedback and ideas for how to improve time trades. So please let me know what your thoughts are on how to make it better. Okay, and then finally, I want to share a technique for using GAN waves. This is based on how my partners in Australia make use of GAN waves. They use them as a way to draw trend lines. Okay, so you can think of the Gann waves as very good spots to locate a trend line and establish a trend. So for example, right here in the blue, we can anchor a trend line, and then we would be looking for another location up here in this blue section to anchor another trend line. This is a technique that they've been using successfully to stay on the right side of the trend and also identify when trends start to turn. Okay, so you can use the same technique as well to make use of the Gann waves to anchor trend lines. And I'll paste a link to the tweet that explains that technique in the video description, so you can refer to that offline. Okay, so that's it for this week's video. I hope you all had a successful week, and look forward to talking to you again next week. Thanks, bye now.